Hello, fellow stampers. This is Madeline from Madeline's Craft Room, and I'm excited to show you today Stampin' Up's laser cut paper. I love it because it's beautiful, as well as I am so impressed with how many simple but many cards I can make from this one package. And this is actually what the package looks like when it comes. I had just put it on a black paper so that you could see the amazing details of the size of flowers and variety of flowers and leaves and petals, many opportunities. And in the package, you actually get 4 of these sheets, and then you also get 4 of this sheet. And this sheet, you can see you have some border and trim, and then you have another big border here, and then you have these 6 potential card fronts, which already as they are beautiful. And I'll show you later some of the cards that I have made with them, and they look beautiful but very simple. So how exciting. And I am just going to show you here what the package looks like when it comes. It will come with tissue paper between the layers, and it is definitely very important that you keep that tissue paper between them, because it does get snagged onto almost anything and everything. And as I was using up my paper, this is now my second one, I have some of these card fronts still cut out, and to keep them so they don't get tangled with each other, I've actually just cut the tissue paper and put them between the layers in here. And so now whenever I want to make a fast and easy card, there they are, nice and easy. So one other thing I want to show you when you get your package is how to cut. And one thing you can use is and the best is the Stampin' trimmer for this line here. Cut the big long border off first, and then you can cut the smaller right in here. And they are loose, so they will all separate. So if you cut here, then you can use those. And then you just take a cut and down here and here and across. And that way you won't damage any of the trims. And what I would recommend though is never to use it on this particular sheet, because you would tear it. It is too delicate. And I am going to show you today how you can cut that big long piece. And you can see I've already been cutting lots of goodies out of there. And sometimes the hardest part is just deciding what flower or what you want on your card front. And sometimes it can be a little hard to decide where you want to cut. So what I will do is I'll take my card front sometimes and just kind of put it around, like that one would be pretty. There. Decisions. All right, I think we're gonna go for that one right there. So what we're gonna do is take our paper snips, and I love Stampin' Up's paper snips. Actually, I'm gonna use this one just because they're nice and small but sharp, and they do a very good job on paper like this and any card. So again, the hardest is deciding which flowers you want. And it can be a little tricky to slide around so you can get your hand in there. I definitely like to keep the tissue paper below what I'm working on here, because they do tend to snag onto everything. So you can do your best. Obviously you don't want to cut into the leaves as they are small, but just trim carefully around, and just be careful that you're not going to damage the one you're using, but also the ones that you're cutting around, because that's how you can make so many more beautiful cards. So like I say, just keep going around. And if there, see, it's sticking in it. Oh, it's got one little, let me just trim it so it's a little easier to cut. Sorry, there we go. I'm going to move that over there. And now we can see a little better what we're doing. Okay, so here, look at that, just a tiny little spot there. And like I say, you see a flower and you're not too sure if you want that in or out, just keep it in there for now, and then you can make your decision later. I am just going to use this one here. So again, I'm not too sure. So let's go this way. Okay, now here's a good example. These are both very fine and beside each other. And what I do is just make sure that I cut in between them. It's very thin, but at least then you can use it for the next one as well. So there we go, there's more. So now you can decide. We can do the little fussy cutting in a minute, but let's just see what we want to keep out and what we want in there. You know, I think I do want to cut this one out. And personally, I think I'm going to even snip these little guys out. Keep the detail of the big flower. But that's your personal decision you can make as you go along. Okay, so then now, I'm just going to move this tissue paper. Now you just go along, and where you had some little jagged edges, you can just trim them off. Right there's another one. And that's the beauty, is now you can move it around a little easier and do the trimming. Now this one cut inside, or not cut, it was inside the leaf. But there, we can just snip that off. I think we can keep that one. Okay, I think we're good. And of course, then you can choose whatever cardstock. I'm choosing Gorgeous Grape today, nice bold color. And now is decision time as to where you want to put it. Actually, I quite like it there. That's the fun part. You can choose wherever you want, or if you want to go portrait. Oh boy, decisions. Actually, I kind of like that too. Decisions. You know what? I think I'm going to snip. Isn't that nice? You can just choose to snip something off. Because I think I'm going to put it more on the bottom, because we're going to put a sentiment on the top. So I just want to, oops, I didn't do a very good job there with that trim. There we go. I want to make sure that I have some nice room there for my sentiment. So now you can see the detail of this and think, oh my goodness, how am I going to glue that? Well, there are secrets, tips to be able to do that. And before I do that, I'm also going to show you that one side of the paper is vanilla and the other side is white. So again, it's time to make that decision, and you can, I'm going to use the white. So I'm going to turn it over like this. And what we're going to do is use our Tombow glue. And because I'm using this on my silicone mat, it makes it really easy to work on, but also to clean. And what I do use is my sponge, and I've already wet it a little bit, and when I rinse it out, then I'll put it back in my bag so that I can use it again and it doesn't get into my inks. So what you're going to do is just kind of bring that out a bit, and because it has some water in it too, it's a little bit thinned out, and all you're going to do is just keep dabbing all around your flower. There we go. And now we're going to lift. And obviously the best would be if you could wash this right away. The sponge would be really important, but if you don't have time to clean the silicone mat, the good news is that it actually washes off easily with a cloth later. It just rubs right off. I love simple. Okay, so now where did we decide we were going to do it? Uh-oh, now I forget which way were we going to go. This way. We got it backwards. Oops, one of our leaves are. And that's the nice thing with the Tombow glue, is that at least you got a little bit of time. And I think we're going to just stick that down like that. So kind of have your main spots, and then you can pat it down. Now I'm going to show you here, I cut out one of these border pieces as well, and when I'm doing a border piece, what I tend to do is I will, of course when it's glued, I will kind of hold it in the middle like this, and then kind of hold it over where I want to put my border, and then I will lay my border down before I pat the rest of it down. So I have found that works very well. So here we go, and like I say, if there's still something, you can pat it down, but look at that, it's not going to come off and tear. So now for a sentiment, what we're going to do is use the layered ovals. I just love this and use it so much. This time I'm going to use the Highland Heather with the scalloped oval for the base of my sentiment, and then I'm going to use one of the plain white, and we're going to put our sentiment on there. So let's move these ovals here for now, and I have cut them out ahead of time just so that I don't have to bring my big shot over here. But what we're going to use is the Love What You Do stamp set, and we are actually going to use this, the one that it says Love What You Do, and this is a nice sentiment and stamp set because I love to make thank you cards for all the wonderful people that do so many amazing things for us and for others. So what we're going to do is take our Love What You Do stamp in our Memento black ink and stamp it on there like that. Now I know I normally stamp first and then punch, but again, just do not bring the big shot over here. I did it that way. It turned out fine. So here we're going to now glue our Whisper White onto our Highland Heather piece. And of course, it just helps to put an extra color on there. And of course, we've got to pop it a little bit. So we're just going to put dimensional on there and take that off. Whoop, stick it in my fingers. And probably right straight, just like that. And there we go. We have a beautiful card that took us only a brief few minutes to make. And I'm going to show you a few of the others that I made with, again, that full sheet of flowers. Again, just in some different colors, but also some different flowers that I used in different arrangements. So endless opportunities with this beautiful laser cut paper. And of course, I promised that I was going to show you more cards that you can make with these potential card fronts. So here they are. Here is the vine one that I did on the white on Call Me Clover, sorry. And for this one, I just added a little bit more bling as I cut out the dragon from Dragonfly Dreams, and I also cut one out of vellum. I don't know if you can see that on the video. And then I just put a few rhinestones and sentiment, and there you have a beautiful card. So there's one, and then of course this is the other design, which is a geometric kind of shaped, and all I did with this one is put a sentiment in the middle on the white as well, and cut out a few butterflies. So simple. And then we have this beautiful flower one, and of course I did add a flower and leaves, but what I did with this one is I double matted it, and again, just adds a little bit more. And because this one I also use the vanilla to just again add a little difference to the card, and I don't know, it looks quite nice with the rich raspberry. And then I had shown you earlier those borders, and this is how you can cut the borders, and you can make it into card, I used a small trim up the top and of course the big border, and then I used Celebrate You with Amazing You to make an amazing card. Then, talk about easy. This is the doily one, and actually I didn't do anything other than I glued it onto the Grapefruit Grove, and I just stamped a sentiment and cut and popped it. So how simple. Then I used the oval one, and with the oval one, what I did here is I did double mat it as well, but I used the stitched rectangle, if you can see the detail there on that. And that just adds another dimension, as well as it looks very pretty, especially with the beautiful, some of my favorite colors of the Bermuda Bay and the Coastal Cabana. And of course this is the painted season flowers, which is a gorgeous flower, again a celebration item. And then all I did was add well said thinlet of thanks on there. And so that is the beautiful cards that you can make with these very beautiful laser cut paper. And the nice thing with these is that it is not only in the annual catalog, but it is part of our celebration. And in our celebration, when you order anything for $60, you can choose any of these items free. So thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my website so that you can view all the celebration items, as they are disappearing fast and they are only available as supplies last. Celebration did start in January, and it actually is ending on March 30th, which is coming soon. So if you purchase $60, then you will receive one of these celebration items, and others, because this was actually the third release, but there are more on the website that you can check out. And if you use this hostess code, then I will send, you will not only receive the celebration item, but I will send you another free small gift as well. And if you have any questions, or you want to make a comment, or if there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. This is my website, and I also have a Facebook page, Madeline's Craft Room. And this is actually my first tutorial, but I will be making more, so be sure to check out on my Facebook page and YouTube. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.